And welcome back to Mining with Virii. Today's subject is going to be one that I just came up with off the top of my head. Actually, it started from a conversation that Skeleton had with me, my oldest, and he mentioned the concept of a girlfriend. Now, I'm not trying to belittle the boy, but I know him, and he's not known for his meticulously awesome girl skills. So when I hear terms like, oh, I've had a long relationship of like 2 years and he's 14, and I go, I don't know what that means. So I started asking him, and I'm like, okay, well, what is a relationship? I could, I've known, people for, years. Does that mean I'm in a relationship with them or something? I mean, like, what exactly defines a relationship? And for the longest time, I could not get an answer from him. It was like, I was, speaking Chinese. Like, what do you mean, what's a relationship? And I started thinking, like, what exactly do kids think relationships are? And I don't mean this in the sense of being rude, like kids are ignorant, they don't know nothing. No. I mean, literally, most kids I've talked to have no idea what a relationship actually is. They they think about, oh, it's somebody you hang out with. Okay, well, sure, I guess, but is that the only thing? I mean, and I'm not talking about physical relationships and all that stuff. I'm talking about the baseline concept of, oh, she's my girlfriend. And, and I I caught him, and he's like, I don't know what do you mean? Take that out, get that out of there. And then I started thinking, I was like, geez, how many people, like, I mean, like, really, how many people do not actually know what it means to be in a relationship? Now, I'm not saying that, all relationships are these super deep, meaningful things. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about any relationship for that matter. Just a relationship where, there's two parties, because a lot of people don't really. Really? Did I run out of seed? Really? Of all things, seeds I'm running out of? There we go. And so, I was trying to figure out how to define it for him. Because, it's actually not an easy thing to define. And I started coming up with, okay, well, first off, it was very simple, but, everybody is different. Everybody has their different ideal of what a relationship is. So there's no one way that's a correct way to define it. And I was like, okay, well, that's an easy way to start, but that doesn't really help him. And I was like, I started thinking, like, well, okay, well, what's a relationship to me? And I'm like, okay, so relationship to me, this person has a priority in your life. You think about this person more than not more than not, but this person is a thought in your brain. And I was like, this is a really hard subject to define. And, trying to explain it to, a teen, we all know how well that's going to work. And, I need to make a chest, guys. And I started thinking about, what people call relationships nowadays. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but when I hear the term relationship, I like to think, hey dogs, that there's something more than just, oh, we're dating. And that's old school to me. I know, it's old school. But to me, a relationship is more than just going on dates. Now, with that being said, yes, relationships are, involved typically like dating. And that was one of my big things about him. And I was like, look, when did he was telling me about how he went on these, he's been this girl's his girlfriend for 2 years or whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm your ride. When have you ever been on a date? And of course, he stops talking at that point because I guess it didn't work out in his favor. But right? And I was like, but what really defines it? Because I realized that when I say that, I'm basing my ideal of a relationship on what I know as a relationship, or to real relationships to me. But to other people, relationships can be completely different. And that's wrong of me to try to base it on that because let's be honest, I have been known to, I've been in a couple relationships in my life. I was married. I'm not necessarily proud that I was married, but I was married. So, and I forgot where I was going with that. But it's one of those things of, where do you draw the line of what a defined relationship is? And I was like, so maybe I sat down and I talked to him a little bit, and I'm like, okay, so homeboy, dude, bro, I was doing all the dad cool talk, right? And the best I could determine from him, now mind you, he's young, he's in middle school. I understand that middle school is a horrible time for teens. Like a really bad time for teens, I'm gathering, but when I talked to him and I was like, look, what is a relationship? And he said it's whenever you spend time with somebody, or want to spend time with somebody more than friends. And I was like, okay, well, honestly, what is spending time with friends? I mean, think about it. If you go through most of the stuff that you're thinking of, because everybody, as soon as I said relationships, everybody had in their mind the idea of, well, Jesus, there's a lot of wood in this one. Of to what a relationship is to them. And I was like, okay, well, that's easy enough. People are gonna easy come up with an idea for that. And immediately you guys did that. Well, when it comes to relationships, though, there is no single answer. I've noticed. There's no difference also between, say, oops, what is that? Let's put that away. Shoot, I hate shift. There we go. When I asked him about his relationship, God, I'm skipping around again, guys. Sorry. I forgot where I was. See, this is what happens when the old man starts thinking. When I started talking to him about relationships, he clammed up because he couldn't answer the question, and I was like, okay, well, what's the difference between, say, your friends and your girlfriend? And of course, he laughed at me like this is some epic question. I was like, no, seriously, answer the question. And he couldn't, and I was very proud of that, because in a relationship, honestly, there is no difference between friends and girlfriends. There's the difference between friends and girlfriends is very similar to the concept of the difference between somebody who likes football and doesn't like football. I know people are like, oh my god, what are you talking about? That's so stupid. That's not how it works. That's not a girlfriend. But it is. Or at least, let me rephrase, it should be. Not necessarily is, but it should be. And the reason that is because that's how girlfriends should be. Now, I'm not saying they all are. Let's be honest. A lot of people have relationships for different reasons. And unfortunately, some of those reasons are stupid. And my favorite part is, a lot of the time those reasons, they don't even know themselves. It's one of those things where they just think that they should be in a relationship, and so they get in a relationship. It's not about that. And I understand, and I told him, I was very clear. Oh crap, it's dark. We'll just cheat the day in. Bing! Because I couldn't see the logs. Where the hell are all these logs that are keeping these trees that spawned in? Aha! I have found you! But, I wanted him to know that, it's one thing to sit there and, be in a relationship, or at least say you're in a relationship, but it's a whole nother thing to base things off of relationships. And, I've always been a firm believer that, whoa, hey, I'm in a tree. I'm in a tree. I'm in a tree, guys. Okay. Do I have another axe? I don't. I'm gonna break this axe so fast. Ow. I keep losing track of what I was saying. The point I was coming to with him was, you know, I was trying to predefine what a relationship was in my mind. And I realized by talking to him that the idea of a relationship is very different for different people, but people still use terms like girlfriend, boyfriend, and stuff like that. And that term has changed from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was very simple put of what a girlfriend or boyfriend was. I mean, this wasn't a mystery novel, okay? A girlfriend was a girlfriend. I mean, it was very simply put. Oh, let's grab this stuff for despawns. And yeah, there might have been some confusion sometimes, but not really. But it was very specifically defined. Like we knew what a girlfriend and boyfriend was. It was I don't know, sacred. I don't know if that's not the right word to use, but it was a very different relationship than what relationships are nowadays. And I was like, and I started thinking about how different relationships are from my day versus everybody else's days. Oh, come on. Why is there a log in there? Yes, there is, right there. And so, after some talking, okay, is that it? Okay, that's disappointing. Okay. I hate trees. I hate trees so much. Trees are stupid in this game. Man, I need to get that mod, that forge thing that allows you to break tree stuff. This. Tinker's Construct. That's what I need. Tinker's Construct. Give my ass one of them axes and stuff. But, yeah. So anyway, but as we were talking, I realized that, whoops, my idea of dating was very different from his. And it seems like nowadays kids don't really, I mean, dating is something you have to do. You gotta have a girlfriend, otherwise you're not cool or something like that. That's stupid. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that's where he was coming with it, because he was making it out like he has to have a girlfriend. He's harassing his brother because he didn't have a girlfriend or whatnot. And I'm like, that's great, but that's like teasing somebody for having blue eyes. It's not a really effective tease. And I mean, in no way, shape, or form is it an effective tease. And I realize that it's almost like a girlfriend nowadays is like status quo. You have to have one, otherwise, you're stupid, or you're dumb, or stupid, you're dumb, or whatever. And I'm trying to, and I tried, and like after I got through this, talking, I had my niece, and I was talking with her, and because she's 16, so it was getting a slightly different perspective, and I'm like, this seems awkward to me that kids would think this, and I was like, where the hell do they get this? Because let's be honest, kids nowadays don't come up with anything on their own. They gather information and assume that it's correct from some source. Whatever it is, be it TV, movies, books, whatever the source is, that's where they derive it from. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out where this not desensitization, but the D, the D, that's what it is. It's the frickin' D. The D strikes again, guys. I don't know why the D popped into my head all of a sudden. It fit, though, so well into this conversation, didn't it? But I could not figure out where this change in mindset came from. And it's weird because, it's a pretty drastic mindset change. To go from the concept of old school relationships to what modern relationships are. Oh, that's Tommy. That's amazing. I'm going to date him because he's got pretty shoes. I mean, it's very superficial dating nowadays. And I was like, I don't even know how long this video is right now. This is probably going to be a short video because I'm going to end it here as soon as I'm done cutting these trees. But, after some talking, of course, he described, and we came to a mutual understanding that, at least a girlfriend is somebody you want to spend time with, more where you're willing to sacrifice some of your important time. It's all important. Come on, let's be honest. You guys have such important things to do. The trees are still not cutting. But as I was talking, I was like, okay, so what is it? We agreed that, it's somebody that you want to spend time with and are willing to give up your time to spend time with, to do things. And I was like, okay, well, that's not a bad analogy. I mean, it's not probably the greatest analogy, but okay, seriously, get tired of you stupid trees growing. Okay, Jesus, man. But relationships should be more than that. I mean, let me be honest. Everybody, you have relationships with your friends. It's all relationships, but if you break it down, that's what it is. It's friendships are relationships, family are relationships. You're going to have relationships all of your life. Okay. There's something in there. No, there's something over here. So why I hate tree farms? Are they despawning? Nope, they're not, because I see it right there. Come here, buddy. I'm gonna come get you now. I'm gonna get you. Oh, 2 of them. Wow. I'm really bad at this game. Okay, so those are despawning now. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it today. You guys, make sure you give me some topics. Today's was kind of scatterbrained because I apparently was trying to think of one thing and talking about random stuff. And then that guy, that happens all the time. But, oops. If you guys want to see something specific... Oh, shit. Really? You stupid dirt block? Why are you floating? Yeah, but make sure you leave your comments, guys. Leave me another topic. I would love to get a topic from you guys and not just me randomly ranting. And there's another piece of dirt in this thing. Or not dirt, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, guys, we'll see you guys next time. Bye!